for today's cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
I don't know what he's going to do. It's going to be something random.
No, I realized I don't got a fidget toy with me. I got my phone. I got a drink. I'm good. Other than that, I don't got a toy with me. I don't got something to keep my hands busy other than my phone. And you don't want me on my phone.
I was just discussing the fact that I'm concerned that the port on my laptop, and I guess at this point my laptop is how old? I think we got it in 2019.
Yeah, so 2019.
So it's getting, as far as electronics, it's getting up there.
It's 5 years now.
And he's like, you might want to start saving now. And I'm thinking, you know, when you have to change computers, in some ways it's almost like having to move. Mm-hmm. It feels like that because you've got all your shit. You know where it is. You know where the files are. And I understand. I hate having to be forced to upgrade or whatever. I hate it.
I know, but the hardware itself does start to break down over time.
It does. It does. And time has been so strange for so long that it's just, we don't realize how quickly some of these things and how old certain things are.
You feel like you're standing on your head most of the time.
Yeah, but I will tell you this, I have definitely enjoyed my musical rabbit hole weekend.
The mic just picked up the most horrendous gulp.
It'll be all right. A little ASMR. In with the paradankness.
I don't like to hear it when people
with the paradankness. It may tickle somebody's, whatever, the tingles.
The brain cells.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You never know. Different people, you know.
You freaks.
Different
freaks. I mean that lovingly, but you freaks. You freaks.
Of course, that's why they're amongst us.
Yeah.
Because freaks are welcome here. Within a certain level. I mean, It has to be, you know, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's the pirate ship of misfits.
It's
Selling the edge.
It's okay.
It's the ghost pirate ship.
Is it?
Filled with paradankness and oddities and everything else.
Yeah.
But no, the musical rabbit hole has been so healing for me this weekend.
Mm-hmm. It's because you finally been able to just chill and do what you wanted to do and listen to what you wanted to.
Yes. And I have realized that having as many cats as it's not just that they're assholes. It's that they are a constant source of agitation. No one should have this many cats ever.
That's literally the only reason they're a source of agitation is because they're agitated. Because the amount of cats that have invaded our space.
Yeah. They're bored. And
flat out invaded our home.
I refuse to be the entertainment committee. I really do. I have had enough. But during our musical,
you don't want to have a stick with a string on the end of it.
No, I've got a fly swatter.
That doesn't exactly count.
Hey, let
I
me
don't think
tell you
that
something.
is effective the same way.
When they are about to fight, that fly swatter, they can see the fly swatter, and they stop. And that's called taking control of the situation.
It is.
I've been trained for this. All right. I'd hate to think that I went through 11 weeks of the academy just to control cats.
That's what it was. That's all it was. And it was to have the sanity through all of it.
11 weeks on some of the lower levels of hell.
Oh.
God, that was such an abusive experience. I've had quite a few of them. I need to go back and read the contract signed again to come down here, to deploy down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we all do. I think all of us are going, now let me see that fine print again.
Yeah, it's like, Lord.
Let
me reread that. Let me reread.
User agreements that everybody agrees to and nobody reads.
Bad. Huh?
It's one of those user agreements that everybody just agrees to and nobody reads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even when you try to read them, they make no sense.
Let me try to reread that.
Yeah. It's too late now.
That was like I was trying to say,
that
glitched out bad, and I was trying to say re. You gotta reread that.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I probably still wouldn't understand it. But
you can read it about 50 times, and it's gonna be like what?
Yeah. Yeah, it just does
11 times.
Does not click.
It'll hit about the 71st time.
And then it'll go right back out of my
time.
head.
Yeah.
I'll have a glimmer of enlightenment, and then it goes away. And that's just how it is. That is how that works.
That's just be how it do.
But one of the rabbit holes that I went down when I was taking a break from the music videos this weekend, going back as far as X-Files. First season.
Good show.
First episode. Everything. And I have realized I never liked the character of Dana Scully.
Yeah.
She always was a source of irritation for me. And Kid adores her.
I do. She's like voodoo in human form.
Because it was not... she was sent in there to spy on Mulder, to try to find reasons why the X-Files needed to be closed down. Mm-hmm. She was always an asshole. She was a shill.
Until she started having her paradigm shifted.
It didn't matter because she never got it. Even when they did the brief reboot, there were several years back, which those were quite good. Mm-hmm. She still didn't get it.
And you would think, maybe it's the actor that doesn't get it.
No. I don't. And this has nothing to do with Gillian Anderson as a person. We're talking just about the character of Dana Scully. Because some of us can separate the actor from the character.
Yeah.
Some people can't.
I mean, she did well in it. But it was
she did an excellent job portraying the character of Dana Scully. She really did.
I'm talking about the reboot, though.
Well, even then, it was, as far as her going back into that character, she did an excellent job with it.
You could have her be a little bit more skeptical this time, though.
Well,
that's just it.
So I got to wondering, it's like...
You had a baby with him and it got abducted.
Yeah.
How are you still a skeptic?
Yeah. Yeah, all that stuff that she went through, and she's still
gaslighting
herself.
That's why I say what I say. It's like, girl,
you're
gaslighting yourself to no end. When does it stop?
So I got to figuring out why. Why would they do this, and what is the deal? So within X-Files lore, I went back and I found out their birth dates so that I could do their astrology charts.
Oh, God.
Because
that's
I could.
The thing. Yeah.
And Fox Mulder, again, according to canon, was born October the 13th of 1961. I didn't delve that deep to find the hour of birth. But supposedly he came from Martha's Vineyard. So that's money. That's money. Like we ever doubted that. And so he was Sun in Libra. And then he was Sagittarius rising with Sagittarius moon. So that makes all the sense of why he would just blindly go and do this stuff.
He's a golden child, but he's also...
that's why he survived. He was a Sagittarius golden child. Mm-hmm. Athletic, good-looking. Yeah. But also do some remarkably stupid shit.
What was that?
Pissed off all the Sages out there.
What was that term that you said? It's like fools will tread where angels fear.
Yeah. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. A lot of times that can be Sagittarius and Aries.
Listen.
Well, I'm just saying.
When you got a Pisces fighting that's that logic kicking in. It's like dream logic.
And his Venus, now this was the one thing that didn't quite make sense. Venus in Virgo. And see, I have this in my own chart, so I have to watch myself. Uh-huh. But it's within that to make sure that he didn't nitpick. Now, he did not nitpick Scully.
No.
At all.
No.
So, but this was interesting. Mars in Scorpio on him. So
what does that mean?
That means as far as he could play the game if he needed to.
He just doesn't.
But then
want to.
It was a matter of having strategic strikes.
Oh. Okay.
Now, as far as Scully's chart, she was supposedly born February the 23rd, 1964 in Annapolis, Maryland. And that would have made her a Pisces. Sun in Pisces, rising sign of Gemini. It was 22 degrees of Gemini. Mm-hmm. Figure that. And then as far as Moon in Cancer, and I told Kid, I said, well, that's part of the problem right there. She eat up with fear. She just absolutely eat up with fear.
Yep.
And so, but also...
Listen, she's shaking. She got shook multiple times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How could she not? It's like she went from normie to not normie.
Well, here it was, the character, as far as her being a female, to be taken seriously within the FBI. Mm-hmm. And again, you've got to put this historically, this was 90s?
Yes.
When this came out?
Yes.
And where women had made a lot of advancements and it was more acceptable, but you still had a lot of the old school hardcore people. It's like, oh, it's like women wasn't supposed to be there to a degree.
Yeah.
So it was almost like that, her having to prove herself, work double hard just to be considered equal. No, I am not going on some kind of fucking woke tangent.
Well, no,
I'm not. It's just true.
Well, no, that's what the show showed as well.
It is. It is, and it was very accurate to that.
And that's at the end of the day, she was like, "This is going to make." She was trying to. She was struggling with that. This is going to make me look like a fool, but this is really fucking cool. Mm-hmm. But this is good money.
Mm-hmm. But it was like I said,
it's that internal struggle of Pisces.
Yes,
and flat out, the fear runs through us,
and then the Cancer.
That's double fear.
Hearth and home, and to be taken out of that realm of security and what she thinks she knows, and she was just fighting against it tooth and nail.
Yeah. Yep.
Now the Gemini there, as far as where she could sort of bob and weave on some of it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she was very much at war with herself. And then it was Venus in Aries. So, maybe that was one of those.
Okay.
That when she saw Mulder, because now he was pretty back in the day. He was. He was a nice looking man back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's like, when he has not aged well, some of us didn't. But that character, Duchovny, because when they did the reboot and scene opened, it was just kind of like, whoo. I have that same, every morning I look in the mirror, it's the same reaction. Whoo. Because time and gravity is not always everybody's friend. But the character was still there.
Yeah.
And then it no longer mattered what he looked like, because it was still Mulder. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens. That you love the character.
You do.
Not how they look. And that's supposed to work like that in real life too. But then as far as, what else was it? Mars in Pisces. God, she's not much of a fighter.
Listen.
God love her.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Damn, sorry. She was just thrust into this shit. That's what happened.
But it was also one of those that was such a good pairing.
It really was.
And the tension and stuff between that. But it's like, now, damn it. There's just like in the first episode, which was about abduction, and that these kids had been abducted, and that they had these 2 marks on their lower back and stuff when they had been marked by whatever it was.
Yeah. And
she was concerned that she had gone to take a shower, and she comes running to Mulder's room in her robe, and she's like, "You gotta look at this." And lower back, and he's like, "Oh, it's mosquito bites." Because she was concerned that she was going to be, because her world had been blown up.
Yeah.
And then what does she do? She automatically just falls into his arms. It's like, hold me. And I'm like, lady, now you an FBI agent. You have gone through all this shit. You're supposed to be holding your own. And it's like, I know he's pretty, but still. Have some self-respect. But it was the Pisces.
Yeah.
I understand it now.
Listen.
It was just like, oh, God. It was like,
fragile.
rescue. Yes. Yes.
We scare easily.
It gave me a greater understanding of the character, but she still was such a shit.
She was fighting for her life. Give her some slack. I think if you were in that situation, you'd be pretty upset too.
No, I probably not like that. No, because this is not my chart. I would have reacted in a totally different way. But it made sense. And I wonder, it's not like I'm the only one that's ever done this. I'm sure that over the years, many people have done the astrology charts of these folks. And it's not like I have great skill at it. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if they took that into consideration when they picked the birthdays that they did for the characters. Did they consult an astrologer and say, hey, I'm going to have this with this character, come up with a birthday?
I think they just threw it at a wall. I don't know.
But it's actually pretty accurate to the characters.
It is. And it's like, how did the actors know how to act like that?
No. It's interesting.
It is.
And it was also interesting, and it was in that first episode where she woke up at night and she rolled over and looked at the digital clock, and it flipped over to 11:22. And
it was like, oh, shit.
I'm like, you think I'm making this shit up? Here you go.
I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's like some shit.
It was just weird. But it was fun going back.
I know what that's like. Staring at the clock and then it switching to 11:11, 11:22.
Yeah, lots of it. I've been doing it for years. Lots of other people doing it, and none of us. They can sit there and they can go, "Oh, it's angel numbers.
Yeah.
It's prime numbers." I understand it doesn't in numerology that these are prime numbers and they do not reduce down. Nobody knows really what it means.
Nobody knows shit about shit.
That's true. So, final thoughts on Scully.
I want the dolls. There is a Scully and Mulder, Barbie and Ken set that
they're horrible.
I want
the sculpt were horrible.
It was it was just Barbie as Scully and Ken as Mulder. It was just the generic Ken sculpt and the Mackie Barbie face sculpt.
We actually do have two of the action figures from years ago, back when the first movie came out.
Yeah, we need more of those.
And they're in our hallway.
They are. That was a lucky Goodwill find. No,
I got that from the Wall of Mart years ago, back when the show was still on.
You're right.
And then we have, as far as a picture of the silhouette of the smoking man, that says "Trust no one."
I was thinking back to the time that I found a bunch of good collectible shit at Goodwill. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you can find that stuff.
Sometimes, but it's very rare.
Well, now it is, because a lot of people go in there and just buy up shit that they know is going to sell on eBay.
And sell it on eBay.
But, I mean, that's where we're going to buy the shit either way right now, because that's the only place that we can find it. But I want them to bring back another season of X-Files, but I don't know how they would do that.
I don't know. I think that last one that they were seeing as far as the public and how they would respond to it, and at this point, I don't know. I think it would be better to leave it as it was, even with the cliffhanger of the kid, than to let the woke mob get hold of it and ruin it.
Yeah. True.
Some things just leave it alone. Even if it was kind of sort of unresolved. There was so much disclosure. That had to be planned. Because there's no way, without approval of they, that series would have ever aired and that Chris Carter would have continued to breathe. So there had to be some kind of consensus.
Right.
Yeah.
This is weird. It's weird.
Of course,
there's always been soft disclosure in this whole show.
I think that Art Bell was a matter of soft disclosure.
He was? He could have been.
I think that started the ball rolling on a lot of it, just to see how the public would react. Yeah. Yeah. And I liked Art Bell. But now, Art Bell was not always...
He was an ass.
He could be an ass. He really could. And there's a lot of people be going, heretic! No, it was just true.
You can be a fan of Art Bell.
Years.
You can be a fan of Art Bell and still listen to some episodes and it's like, oh, yeah, he's a bit of an ass in this one. Oh, yeah. You gotta be objective.
You could usually tell the ones where he was using a little bit of nose candy.
I don't think I've ever listened to those episodes.
You can tell. Well, you've not listened to as many as I have. I've listened to years worth. I listened when he was live on the air. Yeah. So.
When was the last time that he was live on the air?
Before he died.
I love you. No shit.
It was so there. It was so there. I honestly don't know what year he died. I don't know if I can do a quick search. Oh, goodness. You make me stretch and everything.
You gotta reach 2 feet. I'm sorry.
He died actually in 2018.
So, yeah, listen. We all listened to him when he was still alive.
You did. When you were tiny, and I was still at the radio station. Because you were in the back seat.
Grew up on Art Bell.
Absolutely. I would listen to Art Bell as I was driving to work and drop you off at the sitter. Well, actually, I mean, you weren't at the sitter that long before I got out of radio. But that was the commute, was to listen to Art Bell going to the radio station. With Smile Child.
Yep.
And he was on over 500 stations at the time, which was huge. I miss radio. Miss it. I miss the world the way that it was.
Well, with the way that things are going, since physical media is becoming a thing, radio could make a comeback as well. And just be basically a modernized version of analog.
Well, we can see one of the reasons that they allowed that to happen was so that they could control the narrative. That you have like 5 corporations right now that are running everything. Except...
They want a monopoly.
Except tiny pirate ships. Ghost pirate ships.
iTunes was also to blame for that. Apple was to blame for that because digital media became a thing back in the early 2000s because of iTunes.
This is why I support people like Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey. Odyssey needs to really, really step up their game because, as far as I know, this is going to be in April. I will go off Odyssey because I'm not getting anything from there.
I don't go on the website, so I don't know what that...
BitChute, I love those folks. I love them. Rumble is new. I love those people, too. They're getting the overflow. And until they get better toys.
Yep.
Yep. But like I said, and the UF tube.
The UF tube.
Yeah, really. So what's your final thought?
The oof tube.
The oof. Oof.
UF. Oof.
Yeah, it's where we are ghosts on there. That's all right. We are the shadow.
Oof tube.
I was born to be to be the shadows.
Yeah.
Grew up watching Dark Shadows, so maybe that was just, preparation as a child.
Are you afraid of the dark?
No. No. There's wondrous things that's there in the dark. Dark is just incredible.
The show.
Are You Afraid of the Dark was a cool little show for the tweens and adults. I enjoyed it.
r/whoosh.
Final thoughts.
Oof. Soft exposure.
All kinds of good stuff incoming.
But I'd still want that, like, Dana Scully and Ken Barbie set. Oh, God, I really do.
Horrible.
They were not. They were
horrible.
I want 2 sets. I'm going to get 2 sets at some point. One going to stay in box. Then the other, I could, like, have them displayed out of box.
Okay. On the wall of fuckery.
Yeah.
We need to reorganize lots of things.
I think in the hallway would go the inbox one, though.
It could be. Is that it?
Yeah.
Because we're running along again. We've been trying to...
It's not that bad. It's not
It's
that
not
bad.
Anyhow, if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, if you would like to tell us your thoughts on the characters of Scully and Mulder, you may be sitting there going, Morlanda, honey. Scully was just such a sweetheart. She was all about that. And it's like, I don't care if she had freckles or not. It was just like...
No sweetheart.
She's rough.
She had an attitude on her. She really
She
did.
did. As far as the thing is, when it's there, and it's like the paranormal and supernatural had, it's like it had gnawed upon her, and she's still wanting to deny it.
Trauma.
Shit.
Trauma. Pisces trauma.
Oh my God. Anyhow, you can send us also a email cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com.
If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all. Have a good.
Know that you're loved.
Mm-hmm.
Remember to treat others as you would like to be treated.
Yes.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Bye.